Welcome to the Rummage Report for May 3rd, 2026. Today's topic is Trump confronts costs of unpopular Iran war. Casey Liberty kicks us off today.
Hey guys, have you seen the latest about the war in Iran? It started just a couple months ago, and already it's cost us over $25 billion, with the Pentagon asking for another $200 billion to keep it going. That's a staggering amount of money, especially when you think about how it affects everyday Americans. Gas prices have shot up about 33% to nearly $4 a gallon because of disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz. That hits families hard, especially those who rely on their cars for work or school. And while defense contractors might be getting a boost from all this spending, it comes at the expense of domestic needs. We could be putting that money towards healthcare or infrastructure instead. Plus, with 13 American service members already lost, there are real safety concerns. It feels like we're stuck in a situation with no clear endgame, just like we've seen in past conflicts. So what do you guys think? Am I off base here?
Casey, you're spot on about the financial burden this war places on American families. It's not just about gas prices. Think about the ripple effects on food costs and everything that relies on transport. The Pentagon's request for an additional $200 billion is staggering, especially when many people in Ohio are already struggling with rising rents and healthcare costs. Plus, with the conflict dragging on, we risk more American lives and potential instability in the region, which could lead to even higher energy prices. The longer this goes, the more it feels like we're trading immediate needs for unclear foreign objectives. Casey, you're hitting on something crucial with that $25 billion already spent. It's not just about gas prices, it's about the broader economic impact. Families are already feeling the strain with rising rents and healthcare costs. This war is projected to cost around $50 billion, which could have been used to expand healthcare access or improve schools. Instead, we're seeing inflation hit food prices too, with the ripple effect of energy costs. The longer this conflict drags on, the more we risk putting American lives at risk without a clear benefit, which is just unacceptable. We need to prioritize our people over foreign military objectives.
Jordan, you're absolutely right about the broader economic impact. But let's not forget about small business owners who are really feeling the squeeze. They rely on stable fuel prices for delivery and transportation. And with gas prices skyrocketing, many are facing tough choices, like cutting hours or raising prices, which ultimately hurts consumers. This war isn't just costing us money, it's jeopardizing local businesses and jobs. If we keep diverting funds away from the domestic economy, we risk a deeper recession that could take years to recover from.
Casey, you nailed the impact on small businesses. But let's not forget about the long-term effects on education funding. The more money we pour into military spending, the less there is for schools. For parents in Ohio, that means larger class sizes, fewer resources for teachers, and diminished extracurricular programs. The war is not just a financial drain, it's a lost opportunity for investing in our children's futures. If we keep prioritizing military spending over education, we risk a generation falling behind, which ultimately affects workforce readiness and economic growth down the line.
Casey, you've highlighted a critical point about small businesses, but let's not forget about the impact on families who are already stretched thin. The rising costs from this war mean that parents in Ohio are facing tougher choices every day. It's not just gas prices. Think about how higher food costs are affecting families trying to put dinner on the table. With inflation rising, many are forced to choose between essentials like groceries and healthcare. We should be pushing for a shift in priorities, investing in our communities rather than funding an endless conflict that doesn't serve our people. For every billion spent on this war, there are real lives affected, like the single mom deciding between a doctor's visit for her sick child or filling up the gas tank to get to work. It's time to demand accountability and a focus on domestic needs over foreign military objectives.
The conversation. Casey, Sam, and Jordan engaged in a robust discussion about the financial and social implications of the ongoing war in Iran. They all agreed on the staggering costs associated with the conflict and the adverse effects on American families, including rising gas prices and inflation impacting food and healthcare. However, their disagreements surfaced regarding the prioritization of spending. Casey emphasized the impact on small businesses and the risk of recession, while Sam and Jordan highlighted the detrimental effects on education and community welfare. Sam pointed out that military spending diverts funds from essential services like schools, whereas Jordan focused on the broader consequences for families, arguing for a shift in priorities towards domestic needs. Worth thinking about. 1. If the war continues to escalate and military spending consumes more of the federal budget, how do you weigh the immediate needs of American families against the potential long-term benefits of maintaining a military presence in the region? 2. Should the government implement policies to directly support families and small businesses affected by rising costs, or is it more important to maintain a strong military stance in foreign conflicts, even at the cost of domestic investment? 3. In a scenario where military spending leads to cuts in education and healthcare, how would you prioritize funding between these sectors, and what metrics would you use to assess their value to society? If you asked me, and remember I'm a raccoon, I'd say if we're going to dig through trash, let's at least make sure it's not just the scraps left over from a war.